What we see is not going on. It's a kind of universal truth. All of those movie fantasies are so thrilling for us because that much effort has been made to make it like that. And all these, some painful efforts have been put by the actors. So hey guys, in today's video, it's something you'll be shocked by, relapsing how painful it is. The topic is some prosthetics are painful for celebrities. Before diving into the video, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please go and do it right now and press that bell icon. So let's move on to more details regarding this. First, we'll take a look at how prosthetics are done. If the performer doesn't exactly look the part, it can ruin your movie-going experience. Gary Oldman won the 2018 Oscar for Best Actor in a leading role for his portrayal of Winston Churchill, a political figure to whom he bears little resemblance. Yes, the makeup and prosthetics team, who also won Oscars for their work on Darkest Hour, were instrumental in his triumph. We've all seen poor prosthetics in movies, highlighting the importance of makeup artist's job, but how exactly does it work? Makeup artists frequently employ a technique known as live casting, in which they code an actor in goop to create an exact copy, which they then use to manufacture prosthetics for the actor to wear. Gary Oldman underwent rigorous live casting, and Heidi Klum did the same for her annual Halloween bash outfit. We spoke with makeup artist Arian Teagan, recently nominated for an Academy Award for his work in his film Wonder, to learn more about the process. In the movie, Jacob Tremblay plays Augie, a little child with Treacher-Collins syndrome, a role that needs to be handled delicately. Jacob Tremblay's identical life cast took the Wonder team 20 minutes to construct. While the team works their magic, the gup is alginate, a molding material manufactured from seaweed extract often used in live casting. Because Tremblay could only breathe via his nose, the crew had to be extremely careful not to spread any alginate through his nostrils. When building prosthetics, the makeup artist had to punch in each of Augie's eyebrows separately, and they even constructed a wire under the skull to pull his eyes down. Tremblay also wore prosthetic teeth, and while it usually takes hours to fully apply prosthetics to an actor, because Tremblay is so young, it only took 90 minutes. Nowadays, many movies rely on CGI to bring characters to life, but when it can be done, there's nothing like the craft that goes into a movie's prosthetics makeup. Now you've got that this isn't that easy, and some prosthetics take the life out of actors. Now we'll look into some of them, but wait till you see the tedious process some performers underwent to achieve their makeup changes. You'll be thankful for your makeup routine. Keep watching to learn how these actors and actresses handle these complex makeovers. The first one is Jennifer Lawrence's look in X-Men. The process of completing Jennifer Lawrence's makeup for the X-Men picture was already proving to be difficult after 20 different cosmetic tests to find the correct shade of blue for her character Mystique. Can you believe it took 6 girls 7 hours to paint the actress's body entirely? Every lady recognizes this as a dream come true. Lawrence would either stand or work out on a bicycle to keep her blood pumping during the application process. Not only was Lawrence's full blue bodysuit of makeup challenging to put on, but it was also painful to keep on because the blue paint was irritating to her skin, causing boils and blisters on her face. They've reportedly simplified the bluing of you, as you've never had to do 8 hours of full-fledged body paint before. Next is about Anya Shilatra in The Witcher. Anya Shilatra's usage of prosthetics on set of The Witcher may have increased her acting ability, but the same prosthetics that enhanced her acting abilities also caused her physical pain. Between the outfit, the blood, and the sweat after being fitted with a hunchback to make her part more believable, the actress suffered from a strained nerve, which caused her a lot of agonies, and the thickness of her costume added to the sweating misery she had to deal with during her time on set. She also claimed that after playing her for so long, I had a trapped nerve in my back that needed to be rubbed. It was pretty inconvenient. Anne Hathaway in The Witches. From a full-blown head cast to hours of makeup, it's no surprise that Anne Hathaway felt the need to scream about her beauty experience for The Witches film. After sitting through having her entire head surrounded in whatever it is to mold her facial prosthetics, she must have needed to take a well-deserved break from her cosmetic process, which she nicknamed her resting witch face on Instagram. Angelina Jolie in Maleficent. That look was just crazy, right? Angelina Jolie was fitted with cheek, nose, ear, and teeth prosthetics to bring her character in Maleficent to life after insisting on the use of prosthetics herself. Angelina stated in an interview, "We didn't want her to be someone that when you were staring at her during a real dramatic scene that you were distracted by her makeup, so it had to be extreme, but her soul had to come out." Despite its simplicity, this makeup look took a total of 3 hours to apply and 1 hour to take off every day, and Jolie wore it for 16 hours at a time. Ouch, it was like living out some childhood fantasy. Bettany in WandaVision. while Bettany is seen peeling off his face full face makeup for his role as Vision, which may be the most painful part of the process. This makeup look takes the actor about an hour and a half to apply, which is not bad compared to some other actors on this list. The most unfortunate aspect of Bettany's prosthetic setup is his lack of hearing, which necessitates a makeup artist making alterations to his prosthetics for him to hear. Ryan Reynolds in Deadpool is another surprising one. Because of the amount of effort that went into the appearance, Ryan Reynolds' excruciating makeup application for Deadpool was extremely tough. Reynolds was a good sport, perhaps a little too good, as he pranked his makeup artist by tearing off his facial prosthetics after hours of application, saying, "I'm not going to do it well, you know there's no use in doing it at all." John Rhys Davies in The Lord of the Rings. John Rhys Davies' astonishing metamorphosis into Gimli, the actor had to endure horrendous makeup treatments that left him unable to see and caused an allergic reaction on his skin. The Lord of the Rings actor had to work on alternate days to give his skin a respite from the complex makeup procedure. You can't see my brows moving and the rest of the stuff, it was that kind of difficulty. Kay Alexander in the Game of Thrones. The character design in Game of Thrones is noted for being unique and innovative. Kai Alexander's portrayal of Leaf was no exception to this inventiveness. The most excruciating aspect of this makeover was the duration, as Kai had to sit for about 10 hours to get her makeup on and ready for the camera. The actor described his experience as follows: "I sat in a chair for 10 hours from top to bottom, including the wig," he said. Karen Gillian was in Guardians of the Galaxy, which made her go bald. According to makeup artist David White, Nebula's makeup is the most intricate and exciting of all the characters in Guardians of the Galaxy. It wasn't easy, especially for a female, to be attractive and comic book-like while also believable. "I don't know if dedication to a makeup look gets any more uncomfortable than that." And she said like this, "I might have done something a little bit crazy. This makeup look was so intense it took 5 hours of application and even required Karen to shave her head." She knew this going into the audition process, but didn't get a chance to process the bold change until she got the role. Naomi Grossman is an American Horror Story. This little-known actress has experienced a lesser-known makeover into Pepper from the American horror film Asylum. It took 3 hours and 2 makeup artists to turn her into Pepper, which included blinding her in one eye with a contact lens and fitting her with a set of artificial teeth. Imagine sitting in makeup for 3 hours and then having to go around half-blind afterwards. Vladimir Burdick is in the Game of Thrones. The most uncomfortable part of Vladimir's transformation into the Night King in the Game of Thrones series had to be the 6.5 hours of sitting in the makeup chair. Once, in whole Night King garb, the actor had to remember not to blink while in character. The combination of precise makeup application and these intense stage directions made for an uncomfortable experience on the Game of Thrones set. Zoe Saldana in Guardians of the Galaxy. Zoe Saldana, in her role as Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy, had to deal with absolute torture of full-body makeup application. Just like J-Law, she had to deal with the trials and tribulations of many color tests to get her to be the perfect shade of green. The Marvel franchise star revealed just how long it took her to apply all of her makeup over 3 hours, and with the help of 2 separate makeup artists, Zoe is quoted as saying the entire come-in. Jim Carrey in How the Grinch Stole Christmas. When it came to morphing into the Grinch, one of the most well-known makeup movie jobs in history was also one of the most unpleasant. Jim Carrey is notorious for being bothered by yellow contact lenses, being bound by his entire bodysuit, and requiring the assistance of a torture specialist to get through the filming of the Grinch. It was like being buried alive every day when I did the makeup for the Grinch. Think about how much time and pain went into creating intensely creative-looking characters the next time you watch a movie or television show with greatly creative-looking characters before judging their actions. It might make you appreciate them that much more. Thanks for watching and giving this video a big thumbs up.